Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you my February book haul. Now I did so good this month at the beginning of the month. I really didn't buy a lot of books, but I totally fell out at the end of the month. I ended up buying all sorts of books all at once, which was a little sad just because I was feeling so good about, controlling my book buying. But I am so happy with the books I purchased this month. I feel like I'm really just doing such a good job on tailoring my book buying. So with that, because I do have quite a few books to show you today, I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. So I did purchase one ebook this month, and that is Him by Elle Kennedy and Sarina Bowen. I did buddy read this book actually this month with some friends of mine, and I loved it. Oh, it was so good. Probably one of the best male-male romances that I've ever read, and I honestly haven't read too many, but I am so in love with this book. I really wish I had a physical copy of it. It of course follows two hockey players who used to be best friends as they were growing up, going to this hockey camp. Something happens and they end up kind of splitting apart from each other, and years go by and they end up on different teams for different colleges, and then it all comes down to a final playoff game where they are versing each other. And I don't want to give anything away, but if you like sports, hockey, anything like that, if you're into male-male romances and just such a beautiful love story that you will ship so hard with your little shipper's heart like I did, I highly recommend picking it up. I flew through this book. Now there is a second book in this series. It is a duology following the same character, so I probably will end up picking up the second book at some point, hopefully soon, but I'm just so thrilled to have this book, and I cannot wait to buy a physical copy of it because it deserves a place on my shelf. I also picked up this month The Wrong Highlander by Lynsay Sands. Now Lynsay Sands is an author that I followed for a really long time. I actually got first into her vampire novels, and then later on I got into her historical romances. This is a Scottish historical romance novel. It is a continuation of a series. I'm so excited to have it on my shelf. Now this one actually kind of plays on the kidnapping trope, but in this case it's actually the woman kidnaps the man, and I'm so in for it. I cannot wait to read it. These books are really easy for me to get through, and I enjoy her writing so much. She writes really good romance novels, so I'm excited to have this on my shelf and get to it soon. I also picked up quite a few other historical romance novels this month, all by the same author, and that is Lisa Kleypas. I don't know how to say her name, I'm sorry, but I of course read in this past month the first book in her Wallflower series, Secret of a Summer Night, and I really enjoyed that. And I really am interested in another series of hers, but you kind of, if you want to know all the details, you kind of need to read the Wallflower series first to continue on to her Ravenel series, which is the one that everybody is talking about these days. So I want to be on that hype train, so I did of course go ahead and pick up the Wallflowers book 2. It Happened One Autumn, which I think is such a great book title, first of all. This one follows Lillian Bowman, who you do of course meet in the previous first novel, and the Earl of Westcliff. Now I'm really excited to read this book. In fact, all of these I'm so excited to read. I love these characters so much, and I cannot wait to see where their stories are gonna go. I also of course picked up the Wallflowers book 3, Devil in Winter, which is also another really great book title. She has amazing titles. Now this one I've heard a lot about as being people's favorites in the series, so I cannot wait to read it. This one follows Sebastian Lord Vincent and Evie, who of course you do see in previous novels, and I am so here for it. Cannot wait to read it. Love the dress she's wearing on this book cover. Next one I picked up was also Cold Hearted Rake, which is the first book in the Ravenel series. Unsure if I'm saying that right, but it's a new family series that she started that does feature sometimes characters from the Wallflower series, so I definitely want to get started on it because they are kind of intertwined. I'm told you can read them separately, but me personally, I enjoy reading things kind of chronologically, so I'm gonna do that. I'm sure I'm gonna love all of them. But just going off of this, she did recently come out with a new release, Devil's Daughter. Now this is book 5 or something way further down the line in the Ravenel series, but it does feature the daughter of a character from the Wallflower series, so I picked this one up in particular, A, because I absolutely love the cover, and B, this one is the Walmart exclusive, which features some bonus content, including an interview between Sarah MacLean and Lisa Kleypas, which is I love both of them so much, especially Sarah MacLean, so I was I have to pick this up. So I did just go ahead and get it, even though I probably honestly won't be getting to this one anytime soon, because I have so many others to read first. I did also pick up Wicked Deeds on a Winter's Night, and this is by Kresley Cole. This is the third book in the Immortals After Dark series. This one follows Bowen, who you do meet in the first book and kind of see in the second book as well. And if you've read The Immortals After Dark, or at least have read up to book 2, you know that Bowen has some issues going on. So I'm so excited to get into this book. I cannot wait to read it. It is, of course, a romance novel. And the cool thing about the Immortals After Dark series is it features all sorts of like creatures and characters and things, and you just never really know how the stories are gonna go. So I'm really excited to get into it. Plus, this one, the heroine is a witch, which is like, I'm so here for it. I cannot wait to read it. Sure, I'm going to love it, and I can't wait to buddy read this with a good friend of mine. I know, I'm just so excited. Plus, they're really quick reads. They're really not that long, so I feel like I can probably get through this one pretty quick. I am like a sucker for like paranormal fantasy romances lately, so with that, I did also pick up The Darkest Pleasure by Gina Showalter. This is, I think, book 3, I think also in her Lords of Underworld series, which I have been slowly reading this past year. This one follows Rhys, who you do see in the other books, and the Lords of the Underworld series follows all of these lords, as they call themselves, and they're all possessed by different demons. Now this one in particular follows Rhys, who is possessed by the demon of pain, which sounds awful. I'm sure it is awful, but I really enjoy them. They are such good romance novels, really short, really quick reads, so I can't wait to get to it, and I just love the cover so much. I love how they're all such pretty colors. Of course, I also picked up this month Moonlight Scandals by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the third book in her De Vincent series. I do have a book talk up on my channel if you're interested in finding out more about this series. I give you all sorts of non-spoilery info to get you interested in it. Highly recommend checking it out if you have not yet. Love this series, loved this book, so glad I read it. I needed a physical copy on my shelf to go with the other ones, and I'm so happy to have it because Devlin is my favorite. I love him so much, and I'm excited to have this book on my shelf. I also purchased Kiss of Midnight by, I don't know if it's Laura or Lara Adrienne. This is actually a book I've had recommended to me by people who are fans of the Black Dagger Brotherhood. I've heard that this series is like pretty similar to that series, and I love the Black Dagger Brotherhood so much. This one is, and actually like J.R. Ward blurbed it, so like, I'm here for it. This is the first in the, I think it's called Midnight Breed series. They follow what they call our breed warriors, and I think they are all vampire romances. Really unsure. I don't really want to know too much about it going into it because I just want to be able to give it a chance and go into it fresh. So I'm gonna read this soon, hopefully. I'm excited to have it on my shelf. I've heard so many good things about this series, so glad to have it finally. Next up, I did pick up Come to Me Quietly by A.L. Jackson. Now, this one I've actually never read this series. I think it's a part of the Closer to You series. I don't believe I've read any of them. Maybe. I don't know. But I have read some A.L. Jackson before, and I did like her books. She tends to write new adult romances or young adult romances. It just depends. This one in particular is a new adult romance. And this one, she is in love with her brother's best friend. It sounds like it might be sort of a second chance on top of that. Not really sure, but so excited for it. I really am excited. And it looks like it's a really short book, so I feel like I could probably get through it pretty quick. I don't know if this is like the first or the second, so I'll have to look into that. But I am going to be seeing A.L. Jackson at a signing later this year, so I thought I would just go ahead and pick up a physical copy of it so I have something for her to sign. I also went ahead and grabbed Dark Wild Night by Christina Lauren. This is book 3 of her Wild Season series, or their Wild Season series, and I didn't know this until I picked it up, but Sarah J. Maas actually blurbed this, and I was like, that's awesome, because I do really enjoy this series. I have actually read the previous 2 books in the series. This is the third one, and it all kind of involves like marriages that happen in Vegas, like a sort of like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas thing, but it doesn't really stay in Vegas. This one in particular follows Lola and Oliver, who are a bit more nerdy, and so I'm so here for that because I feel like I'm a nerd myself, so I feel like I could very easily connect to these characters. They're very quick reads. They do have some smut scenes, which I am so here for. They are very good for like if you're feeling like slumpy or anything like that, or just want like a quick read to just help you get through the week. These books are so perfect for that. Cannot wait to read this. Probably will honestly be picking this one up really soon. And of course, I did purchase this month Soul in Darkness by Wendy Higgins. Now, I did receive an e-arc of this book, and I read it, and I loved it so much. It plays on the Psyche and Cupid tale. It is very good. It combines Greek and Roman mythology, so if that's something you're interested in, highly recommend. It is a beautiful love story. There is some smutty scenes, which I am so here for. And I was so excited because I did order this one signed. So I'm like so happy. It makes my little fangirl heart so happy because I enjoyed this book so much. Like, this would not be a book haul for me if it did not include some J.R. Ward books. So I of course picked up this month A Lover Mine by J.R. Ward. Now this is John Matthews' story. I don't want to give away too much for those of you who have not like caught up on the series or like haven't gotten to this book or aren't even reading it yet. Of course this is a Black Dagger Brotherhood book. I think it's number 8. I don't know, I get there's so many, so I always lose track. I just kind of track them by whose character story it is. But this one follows John Matthew, who is a character we have been following for a really, really long time and learning his story slowly through the other books. So I'm so excited to find out more about him. This is the next book up for me to read in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. I cannot wait to get to it soon. It is a bit of a chunker though. I think this one is longer than some of the others, so which kind of makes sense. Like, if you've read any of the books, it makes sense for him to have a longer book, but I'm so here for it. I don't necessarily know that I'm here for the ship that happens in this book, but we'll see how I feel at the end of it. I also picked up this month The Beast by J.R. Ward. Now this is a later book in the series, which is like, I think this follows Rage again, of course, just like going off of the title. I don't know much about it. I don't want to know anything about it because spoilers, but I'm so excited to have it on my shelf. I got it for really cheap in hardback, so I was like, I have to have this because I am trying to slowly collect some of them in hardback as I just come across them. So I'm excited to have this one, and oh, it's so pretty. Look at the end papers. So pretty. I also managed to pick up for really cheap this month Fire Touched by Patricia Briggs. By Patricia Briggs. I always get tongue-tied on her name. This is a Mercy Thompson novel. I have no idea what number it is. Don't want to know. Just know that I really enjoy Mercy Thompson. Now, I know I've talked about Mercy Thompson before on my channel, but if you don't know, it is like she is a skinwalker, and she is a BA. She is kick butt. I really enjoy her. I cannot wait to see where her character goes and how the things in this crazy world full of creatures and beings, like kind of how it all happens and what all happens. I'm so excited for it. I also scored this month The Wish Collector by Mia Sheridan. This is a newer release of hers, so I was really excited to see this at half price. I was like, this is my day, because I never find books like this at half price. I don't know much about it. I do know it's set in New Orleans, which is like, okay, I'm so here for. I know it's probably a romance story. I know it's probably super emotional. I know I'm probably gonna cry, but I'm so here for it. And it's got this beautiful cover, which all of her books so deserve because they are such beautiful love stories. I cannot wait to read it. I know I'm gonna love it. I don't want to read the back. I don't want to spoil anything. I want to go into it just not knowing anything about it because I just already know it's gonna break my heart and like put it back together. So I'm excited to have this and get to this soon. I also picked up this month a couple of books by an author. I have read a couple of her books before. In fact, one of her novels is like one of my all-time favorite romance stories. But I had never actually read the series that it was like in, and I decided it's finally time to support this author, especially with the things that she's going through. So I did go ahead and pick up Night Pleasure by Sherilyn Kenyon. This is I think it's considered the first novel in the Dark Hunter series, which is like this giant world. There's so many books. Like, it's gonna take me so long to read this series, but I'm so here for it. And if they are, of course, romance novels, but there's like a lot of world building in them. So many things happens and involves lots of creatures, gods, goddesses, like everything you could even potentially ever possibly think of. This one follows Kyrian and Amanda, and I don't know much about it. I don't want to know much about it. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. It's actually very short. I know that these books get pretty hefty later on because I've read a couple of the ones later on in the series, but I'm excited to get to it soon and just support her and read these books. I know I'm going to love them. Kind of going off of that, of course, I did also pick up Night Play, which is another Dark Hunter novel, and Dragon Mark, which is so beautiful. Look at it. I love that when they have like this holographic, so pretty, pretty shiny, shiny. This is Dragon Mark. This is also another Dark Hunter novel. I know absolutely nothing about it, but look at this beautiful map in here. So pretty. I don't know who they follow. I don't know where they fall in the series, but I will eventually get to them. Plus, look at her author cover on the back. Okay, like I'm getting like serious Game of Thrones vibe. I don't know why, but I do. So I'm I'm excited to support her and pick up these novels and get to them soon. Also picked up this month several volumes of manga because of Otakuathon, hopefully I'm saying that right, which is being hosted by Alexa Loves Books and Super Space Chick. My friend and I decided that we wanted to participate, so we are going to be reading a whole bunch of volumes of manga, so I picked up some, even though I have some on my shelf that still need to be read, but I did pick up some really good ones this month. First I picked up was, I think it's Kakurio, Bed and Breakfast for Spirits, and this is art by Waco Ioka, an original story by Midori Yuma, and character design by Larua, and I am so probably slaughtering those, but look at how beautiful this is. It looks so pretty. I don't know much about it. I just know that it's about a girl who has inherited her grandfather's ability to see spirits, but it sounds like he has like a massive debt, so she's kind of like sold to these spirits. I don't know if they're demons. I think that they're demons, not really sure. And she has to basically pay off her grandfather's debts, I think by working at this bed and breakfast. It sounds like it's really good, and it is currently an anime also, so I'm really excited. I just got volume 1. It was the only one I could find. I don't know if it's the only one out yet or not, but it is one that I plan on reading and watching, so that's really good. I did pick up 2 volumes of My Girlfriend is a Geek by Reese Shiniba, and the story by Pentabu. Like I said, I apologize for butchering any names. This is actually following like a geek, I think it's literally just like following a geeky girl who finds that it's hard to date because she finds that she is so geeky. I don't know much about it. It looks really cute. It sounds really cute. I really like the artwork on the covers. I cannot wait to check it out. I feels like it's gonna be a really cute story, so hopefully I can get to it soon. I also picked up this month 2 volumes of Phantom Dream. This is by Natsuki Takiya, and it says that it's from the creator of Fruits Basket, which I have read some of Fruits Basket and watched most of the anime, so I'm excited to get to this one. I don't know, I'm sure it's different. I'm hoping it's pretty different. I really like the artwork on it. It sounds like there's gonna be probably some romance in it. I'm really not sure what it's all about. It says, Tamaki Otoya is the last in line of ancient summoners tasked to battle evil forces that threaten mankind. Burdened by his duty as a summoner, Tamaki has always found strength from his childhood friend Ashai, with whom he has a deep emotional bond. So when Ashai's friend is found out to be possessed by a demon, he awakens as the one destined to exorcise demons out of tortured human souls. So it sounds like it's probably pretty serious, a lot more serious than I was anticipating, but I'm excited to give it a try. I really like the artwork, and I cannot wait to see what it is all about this month. Finally, I did pick up 3 volumes of Wotakoi. I know, I'm so bad. Love is Hard for Otaku, and this is by Fujita. I did pick up 3 volumes of this. This is also like a nerdy girl love story. I'm so here for it. I love it so much, and I got like 3 volumes of it. They all look so good, and so excited to get to this. I love them so much. I love all the artwork on them. It's so pretty. I just cannot wait to read these for this readathon. So here is part of my February TV haul. I would die if I held all of them up. But thank you all so much for watching. I want to know what books you picked up this month. What are some that you are really excited to read? If there's any of these that you saw that you think that I should move to like #1 need to read now TBR position, let me know. And with that, I will see you soon. Bye!